Are you currently in the process of selling your Port St. Lucie home, or just thinking about selling your Port St. Lucie home? Today, I am going to tell you everything you're going to need to know to have a successful home selling and put as much money in your pocket, in your bank account as soon as possible with as less hassle as possible. That's right. Today we're going to talk about selling that house in Port St. Lucie and moving you on to your next journey. My name is Realtor Jonathan B.J. Hayes here in beautiful Port St. Lucie, Florida. Thank you for returning back to the home of Port St. Lucie Real Estate. As always, make sure you subscribe to the channel, share the videos, like the videos, and tell a friend about the wonderful things going on here in beautiful Port St. Lucie, Florida. And if that is you, if you're thinking about selling a home, or if you need to buy a home in Port St. Lucie, all my information is in the description below. Just hit the more button and you will see my direct contact information. You can call or text me for your free one-on-one consultation. So today we are going to tackle everything from soup to nuts on what has to happen to sell your home here in Port St. Lucie. Yes, it is a process, but what I will tell you is this: when you find yourself a great realtor, they can alleviate 95% of all the stress. You as the home seller, all you should really have to deal with and worry about is packing up the house and where we're going. That is all I would personally want you to have to worry about when you're selling a home here in Port St. Lucie. So let's go ahead and let's get started. So number one, the first thing you need to understand is the Port St. Lucie market. Yes, things have slowed down since the pandemic, but it had to slow down. The pandemic was nuts and crazy. I was selling houses in 4 days. You know, yes, it has slowed down, but I will tell you, Port St. Lucie still has people moving here crazy. And not only are people still moving here, people are still willing to pay top of the market price. It's going to take longer than 4 days. It may take you 75 days now, but we're going to get pretty close to asking price still. So there's a couple things that we're going to look at. You, number one, must trust your realtor. I tell everybody, your realtor is like your attorney. We can help you when nobody else can help you. So when you do settle on a realtor to list and sell your house, trust that person. And if you can't trust that person, you have the wrong realtor. All right, so you're going to look at recent sales. We call them the comps. Your agent's going to discuss and show you the recent sales. So it's not going to be what I say as the agent or what somebody made up or what somebody told you is the water cooler. You are going to see directly from what I call the gospel, not the Bible, but the MLS, closed sales. Not what it was listed for, but actually what it sold for. So you can see with your own two eyes houses that are like yours. Remember, you have to put apples to apples, oranges to oranges here. If you've got a 2,000 square foot pool home, you can't be comparing it to a 4,000 square foot mansion on the island. Come on, guys. Use the recent sales. The other thing we're going to do is price trends. What is the prices currently doing? I told you, it slowed down a little bit, but things are still selling, and they're selling close to asking price still. The other thing you need to remember is seasonal factors. Snowbird season. So from January 10th through April 15th, that's the best time to sell a house here in Florida. The next best time is now. Summertime, because the kids got to go back to school. Mom and dad got to get that house to get the kids ready to go back to school come August. There you have it. That is the first thing you need to get figured out, is understanding the PSL market. Number 2, price your house right. We touched on it a little bit. Price it right. Don't get crazy. If we look at the comps and you see, hey, Jonathan, I'm looking at the comps, all the houses are selling for 505. I got no problem with you going up to even 530, but don't get stupid. If you know we're going to sell it for about 505, don't list the thing at 605, guys. Use your head. Please use your head and be realistic, because this is what happens. A well-priced house will sell fast and for the most, because what's going to happen is you're going to have a lot of traffic and you're going to create bidding wars. That's really what you want. Some of my smartest sellers price it right at market value or just a little bit below. So some of my best sales have been houses we knew were going to sell for 505. Guess what? They priced them at 490. And you know what they end up getting for them? 520. Yeah, they let people fight over them and run up the price. Don't be scared to do that. Be reasonable. That's what you need to do. Number 3, now that we got the whole pricing situation taken care of, we need to prepare the home. Yes. After price, obviously this is most important, because your first impression is all you get. The very first thing we need to tackle is it's above the roof. So here in Florida, everybody has heard about the roof issues. All right. If a roof is over 15 years old, whoever's buying that house is going to get kicked back from the insurer. I will tell you this. I have sold some houses that were 19-year-old roofs, and an insurer let it go because it had no leaks, no anything. They told them, hey, we're going to insure it for 1 year, but we can't guarantee next year. I've seen others who have had 16-year-old roofs and buyers be told, you can't buy that, or yeah, we'll allow you to buy it, but within 30 days, there has to be a new roof on there. I would tell you, if you are a home seller and that roof is 15 years old, man, do an inspection before we get it listed. Make sure there's not one leak anywhere. Make sure there's not one tile out of place to give us the best chance possible. Now, if you know that roof has issues, do yourself a favor. I know you got crazy equity in the home. Put a new roof on there. It'll make the selling process much easier and will allow the home to stand out. We'll be even able to sell it for a little bit more than what we would have if we wouldn't have had the roof. And I can take that new roof and say, hey, why do you want to buy Jane's house over there that's a little nicer, but you're going to have to spend 40 grand on a new roof? Come buy mine. Understand where I'm coming from? Take care of that roof. The next thing we want to do is declutter the home. Man, get rid of the clutter. I know you like the Beanie Babies and the little trinkets everywhere, but box them up, throw them out, get rid of them, whatever, but get them out of that house. The other thing you want to do is get rid of your personal effects. Take the pictures off the wall. Make the house show like a model. Make it show like a model. So when I walk somebody through that house and I sit them down on that couch and I see the eyes jetting towards the wall, that lets me know they're looking for the place for the TV set so they can watch Sunday afternoon NFL football. I know that house is sold. Decluttering and getting rid of personal effects does that for you. The other thing you need to do, deep clean every last room in that house. And I'm going to talk to you dog owners and cat owners. You might not smell it because you live with it every day. But when somebody new walks through that door, they can instantly tell if a dog or cat has lived in there. Deep clean the home. Make sure it's well pleasing, smelling, cover up the dog scent, get rid of the dog hair. I know you love your dog. The next person may not be a pet person. Remember that. Do the deep cleaning. And the other thing that just goes right over people's heads, obviously they fix the big stuff, the holes in the wall, the major appliances that need to be replaced. But many a times we forget about little things like light bulbs. Use white lights. Don't use the dingy yellow lights. They don't make the house pop. The other thing is window treatments. Make sure the windows are wide open so all the light can come jutting through, so it's very appealing to the people when they come to look at the house. Make sure you do that. And the other thing, leaky faucets. Man, leaky faucets can cause issues. Take care of those washers that need to be replaced and fix the leaky faucets. Do these things and it'll help us sell the house faster. The other thing we want to concentrate on is curb appeal. It's very cheap. Make sure the lawn man is coming at least once a week so the grass is cut, the hedges look good, the mulch is fresh, all of that good stuff. And then next, paint the exterior of the house. Now, usually most houses don't need a full paint job, but many a times they do need some touch-ups around the gutters, around the baseboards, around the hedges. All that stuff needs to be touched up, and usually everyone can use a pressure wash of the exterior and the driveway. This creates that awesome curb appeal. You don't want to be in a situation where somebody pulls up and doesn't even come in and they say, nah, don't like how it looks, on to the next one. We do not want that to happen. Number 4, marketing of your home. Man, this is huge. Absolutely huge. Many times I see realtors who all they do is take pictures, which is standard. Professional pictures is standard. This isn't 20 years ago. Professional pictures are standard. Zillow, Realtor.com, all that stuff comes standard because our MLS board sold us out to Zillow.com and Realtor.com. They automatically go there. A realtor isn't doing anything extra by doing professional photos with drones, photos, aerials, and being on Zillow. Come on, guys, that's standard. Online listings are standard. Where a great agent goes above and beyond, it's their social media presence. Find an agent that has a huge social media presence. AKA, mine is YouTube. You need to get an agent that is going to make awesome tour videos for you and broadcast it to the world. Take those videos and broadcast it to everybody on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and any new social media platform that will come up tomorrow. That is what you need. Somebody that moves the needle for you socially, and everybody around the world will see the house. Let's talk about open houses. 15 years ago, they were the greatest thing ever. Nowadays, nobody shows up but nosy neighbors is all that comes because they want to see what's inside your house and how you take care of your house. Nosy neighbors is all that shows up to open houses, and they are a waste of time. I will tell you flat out. But this is what you should do. Your first 10 days is the most important when you list a house. Your first 10 days, your listing will show up on every realtor's hot sheet in Port St. Lucie, Florida. Meaning, it has the most eyes on it. That's why I tell you, don't overlist the house. You want as many people as seeing this as possible. If in the first 10 days, 2 people a day are not coming to see that house, on day number 11, your realtor needs to hold an open house. And they need to hold an open house, number 1, to show you that they're tracking what's going on and communicating. And number 2, you need some feedback. Hey man, how come more people aren't in here? What don't you like? And let me tell you, 98% of the time, Mr. Seller, it's price. You got the house listed too high, you went crazy. But that's what an open house will tell you. So that's the only real value I personally believe in an open house. Price that thing right, market that thing right. Don't price it stupid, and people will show up. Number 5. Guess what? We just got an offer. It's time to negotiate that offer. So evaluate every offer. In a perfect world, you're going to have multiple offer situations. They still go on now, not like they used to. During the pandemic, every house had 30 offers on it. Now, you'll see 1 or 2 multiple offer situations. Not as many as before, but they still do exist. Evaluate all the offers, and remember this: the most money is not always the best offer. Get this. So if somebody came to you and said, hey, you want $500,000 for that house, I'll give you $525,000, but it's going to take me 60 days to close. I have to close up my house in New York first, and then I buy this one. And by the way, can we do a lease back for a month? Opposed to somebody that comes to you and says, hey, Jonathan, I got all cash. You want $500,000. I'll give you $485,000 now. We'll close in 5 days, all cash, done. No contingencies. I don't need an inspection. What one are you going to take? I know the one you better take, all cash in 5 days. You get my drift. Evaluate every offer. The other thing I'm going to tell you is stay calm, tranquilo. Trust your agent. I know you're going to be moving 1,000 miles an hour, but what you hired that listing agent for, the marketing is great, all the above, it's really negotiating power. You're hiring a master negotiator. Trust them. Also, don't be scared to counter offer. If somebody makes an offer and you don't love it, counter offer. The worst they can do is say no and pull out. Or they might say yes and give in to your demands. Use the counter offer system. When you do get to the point where we do select which offer we're going to accept, your realtor will handle all the paperwork. So what's going to happen is the buyer's agent will submit everything on paper. Your listing agent will review it, make sure everything is right. Once we have a number figured out, your listing agent will go over all paperwork and make sure everything is proper, every T is crossed, every I is dotted. Number 6, closing the sale. Congratulations, we're almost home. We're under contract. Now what? Here's what. There's going to be a home inspection on the house. There's going to be an inspection period where Mr. Buyer has a certain amount of time to decide if he still wants the house. This is the most nervy time if you are the seller, because for any reason they can back out and get their deposit back. Or they can come to you and say, hey, we said we were paying you $525. You got a bunch of stuff we don't like. We want you to drop the price down to $495, or we're backing out. The inspection period is the most nervy time, okay? After we get through that inspection period, you are going to get to what is called the appraisal. That's where, if the buyer is using a lender, the lender is going to send out their appraiser. Remember, that buyer, technically he's buying the house, but really he's renting the house, because if he doesn't make a payment, the bank's going to take it back. So they're going to send out their appraiser and make sure the house is worth what they're buying it for. This is why you can't get stupid with the asking price, because if you jack it up too high, guess what? The bank's not going to give them all the money, and then you're either going to have to lower the price, or they're going to have to pay the difference out of pocket. I'm going to tell you now, they're not going to pay the difference because those days are over, and you're going to have a dead deal. So be smart when making your list price. Once we have that set up, the appraisal's good, we're moving on. Next part is your title search. Your title search and title insurance. So here in Florida, title companies close everything. You don't need your own lawyer. The title company is the lawyer. They will make sure they will get something that is title insurance, which you, as the seller, it's customary that you pay for. And that is what protects your buyer if there is a deficiency on title in the future. After we get all that set up, we are very close to closing, all right? The only thing you have to worry about is the buyer's financing. Here's what I'll tell you. It's your listing agent's job to be talking to the lender to make sure they can close. You're far along now. The last thing you want to hear is buyer can't close. Does it happen? Yes. We try to mitigate it as much as possible. Make sure your realtor is keeping track of the buyer's lender and where they stand. After we get that, we got a final walkthrough. Everything is good. Yes, we're about to close day before. Either the day before or day of closing, the buyer will come by, take a look at the house, make sure all the stuff is out, make sure seller didn't kick holes in the wall, all that good stuff, and we should be ready to close. Next is actual signing the papers the day of closing at the title company. You sign all those papers. Once all those papers are signed, you usually sign your form of papers before, usually the day before. So this way, the buyer can go day of closing. Here in Florida, they don't like buyer and seller to ever be together. They like seller to sign one day, buyer to sign the next day. So this way, when they sign, all money can be released. And guess what? Now it's time to receive payment. You will receive your payment directly from the title company in form of a wire. Now you got a bunch of cash in your pocket to buy another house, pay for a new car, go on vacation the rest of your life, whatever you'd like to do, your money is now there. Congratulations, your house is now sold. I hope this information helped anybody here in Port St. Lucie who is currently selling a house or thinking about selling a house. Give me a thumbs up on this video, like the video, share the video. And if you are out there and you have deeper questions, you can leave a comment below, or better yet, contact me directly at the number below in the description. Hit the more button. You can text me, call me, and I will be there and answer any question you will have about selling your house in beautiful Port St. Lucie, Florida. Again, this is Realtor Jonathan B.J. Hayes with the home of Port St. Lucie. Until we meet again, everybody stay safe. Be blessed.